I just finished my morning cardio. It's really weird getting used to this new place, this new gym. I kind of had such a good routine going with, where I was before, and now I'm living about an hour away. So I've had to find all new gyms, and just getting back into the swing of things. I haven't missed. I've done everything that I've had to do, but it's almost like we get comfortable in these areas, and then we start to build our identity in these areas. So when I come into these different gyms, it's a different drive, and they open at different times, and just living in my loft, it's just different. When I wake up, the spot where I do my morning push-ups is different. Where my cold shower is different. It's just in a different spot. And all of that habitual routine building that I did for so long, it's like all those memories were not there to continue to reinforce me. And the first week, which was the beginning of January, where I was in this new spot, that first week was hell. And it just started to get to me. I was like, why is it so hard? And I just hyped this place up like it was going to be so good. It was going to be so good. But it was so hard that first week. The night when I was moving in, I got stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire, pouring rain. I knew I had to wake up at 4:25, my morning wake up. And I had calls starting at 5 a.m. for my business. And it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was still on the side of the road, stuck, changing a tire, and had all my furniture in the back. Still had to put my bed together once I got there. And I didn't go to bed till like 2 a.m. But I still had to be up at 4:25 because I have a responsibility. And the only way I was able to get through that week, because I couldn't sleep half of the days. Half of the days I was up so late doing work because the day before I had so much stuff that it was just carrying over. And I was like, you know what? What better of a start could I have to this new spot? What more of a struggle could I have? This is so beneficial. I'm starting off with this gift of hardship that I get to overcome. The very first thing that I get to build in this new loft is the fact that when there is hardship, when there is struggle, I will overcome it by sticking to my process and not letting it break me down. And that's the aura that's been floating around my apartment ever since then, is every single thing that approaches me, I'll do it anyways. And I'm not going to lie. In my old house a couple months ago, when I posted a couple of my videos that did really, really well, I was in such flow state all day long, 24/7, because I had just built such a routine and process around where I was. And I haven't felt that. I haven't felt that good, that much energy, that much flow since I moved out. But these are the different levels that we have to go through. And if I can't rebuild myself back into that flow again, who am I? Then my process and my habits are fraudulent. There's this idea that I've been playing with, and I've just been thinking the past couple weeks, just being in this new environment, and I'm like thinking about my old self. Yesterday was February the 2nd, and I scrolled all the way up on my camera roll to look at where I was February the 2nd of 2023. And I saw myself, and I started to get the memories of where I was. I was just a few months clean from smoking weed. I was just a few months clean from watching porn completely. And my mind was still such a wreck, such chaos. And I was just fighting every day just to continue to elevate my vices. and I was sticking to my nutrition every single day. And that's what really allowed me to elevate. And my workout started getting really, really good. But where I was, I had no money. I was just finally starting to learn the ins and outs of why I had these certain habits and why I acted in certain ways. And I always get caught up. We always get caught up in the present and where we are now. And I'm not big on looking back at the past unless it's in reflection. Because when I was reflecting on what I had accomplished and how far I came, it gave me that added reinforcement that every time that it's hard, every time I'm in a low frequency, all I have to do is align with the highest version of myself that I've created in my mind, the man who is where I want to be in my life, the man who impacts others every single day, the man who has built himself up so much that he's overflowing with energy that others can pull from and grab from and lift themselves up through. A man of charisma, a man of intelligence, a man of order and precise mental thinking. Everywhere I go, I used to literally live in a pigsty. My room was disgusting. My car was disgusting. All of those things are a reflection of you. Your body is shitty. Your room is shitty. Your car is shitty. All of these things, you're unorganized. It's a reflection of your internal state. But when it's all built together, my car, all the time, every single day, is pristine. And it's not because I spend 4 hours every weekend cleaning it. Every single thing that I do, if there's trash in my car, I take it out immediately. If I see dirt or something, I instantly clean it up. I don't leave things. The same with my room. And if you treat your mind like that, any trash that comes in, you immediately identify it and you get rid of it. Now, you have to take the extra few seconds, the intentionality to identify it and distinguish it. And most people haven't even built up the discipline to take those few extra seconds, take a thought captive and disperse it. And they grab the thought and they start to run with it. And they let these different thoughts pile up. And all these thoughts pile up. And all these thoughts pile up. Until their brain is full of junk. It's full of shit. And then they have to go through and really try and clean all of it up. But they haven't built the habits of every single time a shitty thought enters, to eliminate it, to get rid of it, to disperse it. So it continues to build back up. And then they think about, I have to get rid of this. I have to change my routine. I have to do all this. And then it's a huge process to break everything back down. But again, they haven't built the discipline to just one by one identify every single thought as it comes in. And they keep having to do it over and over again. My room was so messy over a year ago when I was reflecting back on it, because that was something that I was still struggling with, was just the discipline of doing things as they come. I would just wait. I would be like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then all of a sudden, it's really fucking bad. It's the same thing with your mind and with your vices. You smoke a little weed here. You go out this weekend because you're like, well, everyone goes out and I worked hard this week. And then you're hungover and you don't actually clear your brain fog for like 4 days. You eat some Cheetos here, some Krispy Kreme donuts here. And you're like, oh, I'll track my macros later. I'll track my workouts later. And then all of a sudden, you're so derailed and you're so far off path, you don't even know where to start. There's so many things that are wrong with your life. You don't even know what you should start on first. And that puts you down an even more dark and deep path of despair. The only way to find yourself, truly, is to lose yourself. I am in no way the same man that I was on February 4th, 2023. In no way. The only way I was able to find myself was I was able to look at every single detrimental thing I was doing. And instead of selfishly being like, no, I want to keep that, I was willing to sacrifice everything about me that was keeping me as a low life, that was keeping me addicted, that was keeping me soft with my physique, soft mentally, that was keeping me lazy, that was keeping me undisciplined, that was keeping me from impacting others, that was keeping me with a huge ego, an ego for nothing. I was able to get rid of everything that was keeping me in a state of low vibration, in a state of thinking that the world is happening to me instead of happening for me. Now I wake up and no matter what is happening, I'm able to look up and be like, how blessed am I? How blessed am I that I was able to identify everything that was going wrong, and that I was able to restructure every single solitary thing, and I was able to go through the shittiness of figuring out a process, of seeing what doesn't work and putting in what does work. But everything has to stack on top of each other. The habits that I built with cleaning my car, the habits that I built with cleaning my room, the habits that I built with anything that I did with work. I realized how I do anything is how I do everything. But a lot of you guys will put things into different sects. Well, I'll do my work and I'll be very disciplined and organized. And when I'm at the gym, I'll work really, really hard. But in the other things, it doesn't matter because this is what matters to me. It doesn't work like that. I thought the same thing. My undiscipline became so large and so toxic that it started to bleed into the areas of life that actually mattered the most to me. I started to skip sets. I started to skip reps. I realized it slowly and gradually because I was just riding a protein number that I thought I needed to get down. I started hitting less protein, less quality foods, less this, because if you're not tracking, you are slacking. You are going backwards. I can't tell you how many clients I get on the phone with and I start asking them, well, are you tracking your protein? What are you doing? They're like, yeah, I think I'm trying to get like 100 grams, and they weigh 160 pounds. Then I'm like, well, how are you tracking that? Oh, I'm not. I'm just kind of eyeing it. No wonder you're not getting the results that you want. No wonder. You have to be willing to put in the effort. It seems like, well, that's so much, like tracking my food. Well, do you want it or not? It's easy to be fat. It's not easy to be ripped, to have a clean mind and a clean body that reflects that mind. If it was easy, everyone would do it. The reason that you can't do it, it's not usually lack of information. The information is out there. It's lack of accountability, lack of a system to get there, a process, and it's lack of sheer willpower. But willpower is a skill. You can develop more ambition and more willpower, but it only comes through a process. And it only comes through holding yourself accountable, even on the many days when you don't want to do it. Every time my alarm goes off at 4:25, my first thought is negative. And I love the mornings. There is nothing that I enjoy more. This morning, I'm driving to the gym. It's pitch black outside. No one is up. It's a little windy. It's chilly outside. It was like 64 degrees. The sky is literally painted pink. As the sun starts to come up, it was beautiful. I'm listening to my classical music. I'm driving amazing. But I still wake up when my alarm goes off and I open my eyes and my first thought is, not again, I don't want to do this. It's negative. I start to think about everything in life that is against me, all the things that I'll have to do. I start to think about, why do I have to do these morning push-ups? Why do I have to get up and take a freezing cold shower? Why do I have to get up and journal and write my notes to myself to hold myself accountable for everyone that looks up to me? But you know what? Regardless of what I feel, no matter how comfy that bed is, no matter how much it pulls me back in and I just want to put my pillow over my head and go back to sleep, I get up. Every single fucking time, I get up. Because I've decided there is no other option for me. I made the sacrifice. I decided to make the sacrifice. I will hold myself accountable because there are people who aren't willing to. And if I am to change others, I have to hold myself to an even higher standard. I can't live a normal life. And I don't. I do not. When you wake up at 4:25, nothing is normal. When you work all day long, when you have people that you are impacting and you are therefore helping all day long, my elite clients, I'm communicating with them all day long. We're working through problems. But I'm willing to do that because that is the only thing that gives me the strength to wake up every single morning. That is the only thing that will keep me on this path. That is the only thing that allowed me to reconstruct my new self. And I was able to find my purpose, what I was truly put on this earth to do. But you cannot keep going down the path that you're going down. There's a reason you feel such internal conflict. There's a reason you feel such internal conflict. Your body knows you are meant for more. It knows that you are continuously, every single day, filling it with shitty food. It knows that it's making you perform at your lowest, think at your lowest, operate at the lowest frequency. It knows. It knows that that little pussy mindset that you have is keeping you weak. It's keeping you soft. It is keeping you from everything in your life that you want to achieve. You know you don't give all of your effort in the gym. And you continue to tell yourself, I don't need, I'm different. I don't need to track my workouts. Yes, you do. That is why you haven't made any progress. It's February already. The goals that you made for 2024, you've still been mentally masturbating to them for a month and a half. You haven't taken any steps. And the steps that you have taken, you've already gone back on because you didn't apply a process. I have proven methods. It's like the 5-4-5 method. Everyone that gets on the 5-4-5 method for formulating their goals, adding their morning routine and creating their daily tasks, they have a system that's unbreakable that they can follow. All of my elite clients, and they always are able to transcend their problems. Always. I wasn't just born like this. I had to teach myself every single day, forge the path. Because the day restarts. It doesn't matter what I did or did not accomplish the day before. I have to prove it to myself again. And it's hard every day. It is hard. You are not the only one that feels that hardship, that feels that friction when you try to get moving. But that is what you have to overcome. That feeling, that wall is what keeps people where they don't want to be, that keeps people in misery. And if you can just sacrifice the instant gratification of turning to pleasure, you will be able to break down that wall. And once you break down that wall and you're able to clearly see the world around you as it is, The world's not as it is as you are. But you will never see it clearly until you've broken down the wall of your personal beliefs about what you can and can't do, about who you can be, about what you can achieve. The only way that you're able to realize that life is happening for you and not to you is to prove it to yourself. Every setback is not a setback. It is a stepping stone. That which holds us back is actually the stepping stones we need to get to where we want to go. But you're identifying. I see these people. They sit there and they identify, I am anxious 45-year-old who struggles with depression. That is how you're describing yourself. Every day, that negative self-talk, you are telling yourself that is what you are and there's nothing you can do about it. No. Stop doing that. There is something wrong with that. You're giving yourself an out. That is the easy way. Well, I feel like it's hard because I'm depressed. Fuck you. That's what you should be telling yourself. You know the impact that has on other people around you because you walk around moping and negative all the time because you identify as being depressed. And that is your out. You self-sabotage because that is where it's comfortable for you to lie. Because you can click snooze because you say, no, I'm depressed. I don't have to wake up today. I'm going back to sleep. That is your outlet. I have no outlet. There is one direction. One direction. That's what you have to realize. You got to stop giving yourself these outlets. Oh, I don't need to track my macros because I already have good genetics. That's what I used to tell myself. And some of you guys are out here with shitty genetics and you think that you don't need to track your macros more. You can achieve whatever physique you want to achieve. Whatever mindset you want to achieve. You can become anything that you desire. Because you will never desire more than you're capable of. If you have a thought in your heart, a thought in your mind of something you want to accomplish, something that you want to do, you are able to achieve it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. It is a true statement. I don't want to be a billionaire. Not at all. That's not attractive to me. I want to become completely financially independent. I'm financially independent on my own, but with a family and be able to, have time and location freedom, be able to do whatever I want to do. But the thought of being a billionaire disgusts me. I don't no problem with people that are billionaires, but I don't desire that, which probably means it is out of my capability. But there are some people, they want that, which means they have the capability to do that. Whatever your mind is like, this is what we have to do, you are able to achieve it. But you give yourself all these outlets and all these excuses as to why you can't. And then you wonder why you don't. You wonder why you don't. Guys, you have to create the greatest version of you, the highest version of yourself, and that way you can actually gift that to other people. You are a nuisance. You are a virus when you walk around all the time with this disgusting negative self-talk, this self-sabotage where you're projecting your pain on others. That is the most selfish thing that you could do in your entire life. Selfish, disgusting. All that says is me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. All this is happening to me. Why is the world so against me? It's not. You're just a bitch. Stop feeling bad for yourself and make the decision today. I am going to recreate the highest version of me. Hold yourself accountable. There is an unbreakable process. Mindset, habits, nutrition, and training. Countless times I have proven with all of my elite clients, everyone that's in my school community, over and over again. It is the process. Once you follow it, it becomes the only good addiction. You have to get better. You have to serve others. You have to give all that you have every single day. It is the cure for every single problem. When you transcend all of your vices, everything that's holding you down, everything that's keeping you in a state of despair, you will finally see life for as it truly is. You will finally see yourself for your true potential. And it is hard. That does not mean that every single day it's sugar and cupcakes. It's fucking hard. It's still hard for me to wake up and take my cold shower and wake up at 4:25. I've been taking the cold shower for almost 2 years. And it's hard. But I do it anyways because it puts me in the state of mind that I need to put myself aside and serve the greater purpose, the greater good. It elevates me. My morning process elevates me into the state where I am doing nothing but giving pieces of myself to the universe. The complete opposite of a consumer. The world wants you to be a consumer. They want you to buy. They want you to scroll. They want you to eat. They want you to just sit there and brainlessly just be nothing. You have to create by giving pieces of yourself, by building things. Building muscle, building your mindset through adequate nutrition, through good habits. Once everything stacks on itself, you will become that uncommon, rare man. I used to struggle with it all. I had so much self-confidence issues. I had so many things that I just struggled with. Why do I think like this? Why do I act like this? The self-confidence comes from your actions. The reason you can't look a woman in the eyes and you stutter when you talk to her is because you are reflecting yourself onto her. You think that she sees you the way that you see yourself, and it's fucking embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed too. I was embarrassed. Because you don't do anything to hold yourself accountable, anything to track your progress, anything that puts you in a sacrificial state. Like not always eating the food that you want to eat because it tastes good, and just eating the food that is fueling your body to get done what needs to be done. You are a man. You're not allowed, you're not supposed to be living in a constant state of pleasure. You're supposed to be living in a constant state of purpose and servanthood. We serve, we protect, we provide. That is what we do. You have to live with a state of aggression, not this soft ass, oh, this is all happening to me, man. This is, men have it so bad. I see all these, what the fuck is that online? Men have it so bad. Men, like all the women are the problem. Dude, what is your fucking problem? Man up, grow a pair. Hold yourself accountable. You are lazy and you feel like a woman because you eat like shit. You lay in bed all day, you scroll on TikTok, you consume, and you just sit here and think, all these problems are happening to me. Oh, I got the shit end of the stick. Make your own end of the stick. You have the capability. You just don't want to put in the work. You don't want to put in the work. We have to create the version of ourselves that we know we're capable of. That empty feeling inside of you will leave once you have done that. You have to lose your old self in order to find your new one. Sacrifice your old life and you will gain your new one. But you have to be willing to get over that mental block of doing the work. Doing the work. I'm telling you guys, this is what I do. This is my purpose. I transform men into the highest version of themselves. And I'm not going to stop. I will continue waking up every single day. Not because it's easy for me, because it's not, but simply because I decided to hold myself to a higher standard. And I will not lose. I will not lose. I love you boys. I came on here this morning and I was watching, I was reflecting some of my videos, and, I was just like, I feel like I kind of started to cut them out of what I was actually thinking. And I started to just tell them what they needed to hear instead of continuing to bring them along on my journey, and I could be wrong, but that's just something that I identified as my videos in the beginning. I was talking and I was bringing you guys along with me, working through my mental frameworks. And then a couple of my recent videos in this new spot, in this new apartment, I've been more just talking instead of bringing you guys along with me. And that's what I want to make sure I'm continuing to do, is just bringing you guys along on this process so you can see how I'm learning, how I'm teaching others, and you can also apply that. And the ones of you that are able to take this knowledge and understand that you need a guide, everyone that I bring into my elite coaching from these videos, they level up so fast. I was talking to a kid last night. He was on one of my one-on-ones, and he's like, dude, this has literally changed my life. We've only been working together like 2 months. 2 months, and he's already completely breaking all of his vices. He's getting through the things that he used to struggle with every single day, and there's nothing more fulfilling than that. There's nothing more fulfilling than that. Waking up, seeing all my boys in my school community who weren't able to get on my elite coaching, and they are able to use all of the training programs that I've put in there, all of the mindset courses, everything that I've personally used on myself and all of my clients. And I see them conversing, learning, talking about their macros, sharing information, what they're doing so that they can stick to their wake-ups early in the morning. That brotherhood you need that as a man. You need to have a brotherhood like that. You need accountability and you need a direction. As soon as you wake up and you have no process set in place, you start to drift. You start to look for that next impulse. You start to look to just satisfy that hole within you. That's why you go to food. You go to watching Netflix. You don't go to the gym. You are looking for, how can I bring in instead of how can I put out? And that is why you feel so empty on the inside. Comfort is where the soul goes to die. It is where the soul goes to die. But where you learn about your true self is when you're pushing yourself to the brink. That is where true not happiness, joy. I hate the word happiness because people think that happiness is just this blissful state that always lasts. Joy is a feeling of gratitude and a feeling of fulfillment that lasts, and it comes from you expending effort and sacrificing for others and investing your time in others. And that is what you will receive. Every single day, it doesn't matter what negativity is going through me, I have the joy that I get to attack another day. I get to attack another day, and I get to bring you guys with me and impact and change lives. And there's nothing better than that. Working on my body every single day, working on my mindset every single day, continuously revising and improving my routine so that I can continue to level up and become a better man every single day. And I'm going to continue to bring you guys with me, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until I've impacted as many people in this world and in this life as I can. I love you boys. I'm going to keep posting these videos. I'm going to keep putting out aggression talks. And I will not stop. I will not stop. In a world full of pussies, stay aggressive.